Hello and welcome to MtG. I'm Vyacheslav and today I tell you about Atog. And not about creature, but about the decks for old school Magic. From budget mono red Atog up to expensive Atog with full power and 4 colors. Exactly. Before I start, I want to ask you to leave a like, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. It's make me happy. Let's go. As many old school Magic decks, and actually all Magic decks, this one builds it around some specific pile of cards, some specific group that work well together. And of course all deck that I will show you today will be aggressive. It's a bit down, they try to run fast, go to attack and deal damage by burn magic. So let's go from that Atog pile. Actually, not all of these cards will be used by playset, some of them people use in 3 or even 2 copies, but it's really important heart of the deck. Most important card is of course creature, Atog, for 2 mana, 1/2, red, with good artwork. So it's already fine, and also you have ability. You can sacrifice any artifact and give the Atog +2/+2 up to end of turn. And that's really powerful. First point that you can protect Atog from popular removal like Lightning Bolt for just 1 artifact from battlefield. In the case that you play with power and Moxen, it can be easy, yeah, because in the start of the game Moxen is powerful, but in the late game in this deck it's at least full for your Atog. Also you can, when opponent will be slightly relaxed, made mistake or just have not blockers, you can kill blocker or not kill blocker, go to attack, eat a lot of artifacts and deal big little damage. Really fine for beat down deck. Second important card is a most aggressive artifact for 1 mana, Black Vise. It deals damage to your opponent when you have more than 4 cards. So if you start game from Black Vise, it will be like Artifact Lightning Bolt. And if your opponent have not a good proactive hand, good plan for future gaming, start from only land, it can be even 5 or 6 damage summary. From one discard for 1 colorless mana. And of course it can feed Atog, and it's actually good food for your Atog, because in the late game it's again not very good if you don't combine it with stuff like Feel of Fate, Feel of Fortune. Next card is Ankh of Mishra, for 2 mana artifact that deal 2 points of damage for everyone who play land. To you too. It's actually fine. Even 2 points of damage with this artifact is cool, because in late game you can use it also as protection for Atog, for extra damage by Atog, but if your opponent play 2 or in 3 lands it will be 6 or 4 6 points of damage for 1 card. It's cool. Good for aggressive deck. We will deal damage to ourselves, of course, but an aggressive deck don't need so many lands, so mostly we will get only 2 points of damage for rank, maximum 4, and in this case opponent will get more. And it's not so big amount of artifacts you can see, it's not all the cards, also you can use some optional. It's a Copper Tablet, artifact for 2 mana that deal 1 point of damage for every player at the beginning of turn. It's good, again, deal damage, and if we aggressive in the game, and mostly our deck will be aggressive, it's good for us. We don't care about lose life, we care about lose deal damage to opponent. Next card is a Winter Orb. Have a fine synergy with Ankh of Mishra and Black Vise, because it's prevent your opponent from play spells to activate Vise, or provoke to play more lands to play spells to activate Ankh. Relic Barrier is a cool thing that not only protect you from artifact creatures, like Mishra's Factory, but also can deal damage to opponent mana base, because it can tap Moxen. And also, of course, it can be just popular after include artifacts, like for budget decks Soul Ring or Mana Vault. Not really cheap, but still budget if we look at the Power 9. Moxen, Black Lotus, you can fit your Atog with Black Lotus, House Orb, all the stuff is artifacts, and Atog can work with them well. And because Atog is red, all good red cards like Burn Spells, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, Fireball, Shatters to destroy artifacts, Blood Moons in case that you play with a mono or 2-colored deck, will be helpful and good. And of course best red card for sideboard, Red Elemental Blast to counter your opponent Power 9. Now when we look at the main block of cards that are important for deck, let's go to the deck lists. And let's start from Sly version of Atog. This deck deals a lot of damage by spells or specific cards, specific creatures that actually looks like spells. I mean, the second creature in this deck is a Ball Lightning. It's a 6/1 creature with haste, but actually it's spell. Yeah, mostly it will be just 6 points of damage for 3 mana or 6 points minus toughness of blocker the opponent have of damage for 3 mana. A really good card, especially for aggressive deck. It's only for aggressive decks. You never will use Ball Lightning in control decks, I think. And also deck have more fireballs, some forks to copy your fireballs for big mana, and maybe some instant boon spells. And many red options in the main deck. It can be more expensive if you just put here red Mox or more Moxen, House Orb, stuff like this. Yeah, it's first popular version of Atog, and we also have second one that's I can name it like Big Red Atog. It's artifact heavy. It's have the 4 copies of Mana Vault and use it like Dark Ritual and Black decks to play big artifact creatures faster, like Suchi, Jagged Naut, and even Triskelion. And game plan slightly different, but target is simple, same as in previous deck. You try to kill your opponent faster, you play big creatures by help of Mana Vault, and when just going to attack, use some boon to deal damage to face or kill blockers, and made the last swing with Atog. In both of this deck we can use a lot of red options for sideboard, like Earthquake, more copies of Blood Moons or Shatters, and of course Elemental Blast, best red card for sideboard, and sometimes even to main deck in Old School Magic format. One more card that I seen in the Atog deck lists is the Orcish Mechanics. And I don't think it's really good. Card is fine, it's like second Atog for 3 mana, 1/1, and for sacrifice its fact deal 2 damage to any target. But it has a summoning sickness, so can't use this ability at the turn when you play it, and it's just 1/1. It's so easy to kill it. Atog can be protected by artifact. Bolt can kill it if you have 1 artifact. Even Psionic Blast can kill Atog if you have 2 artifacts to protect him. But this creature can be protected by himself, yeah. And if you need to deal 6 points of damage by 1 card for free, it's better to use Ball Lightning. Now we finished with mono decks, and let's go to colors that made it better, because if we have more colors, we have more options, and we need options. Let's start from things that Atog actually need from other colors. As you can see by the previous lists, we have the option as artifact creatures and as Ball Lightning. But Ball Lightning not actually creature, it's just like a spell for deal damage. And artifact creatures can be killed by Shatter, so from other colors we need something aggressive but better or faster or boss. And second thing that we need is a removal, because the deck has the lightning bolts and fireballs, but lightning bolts, chain lightnings can't kill big creatures, at least 1-to-1. You need 2 lightning bolts to kill big creature. And fireball to kill creature need a lot of mana. So mostly it's like a mass removal for little creatures or direct damage, not a way to kill 1 creature. So mostly not so good. So we need removal and of course restricted powerful cards from the other colors that colors have. Let's go to most popular and actually best combination for Atog deck. It's blue. For non-budget players, blue of course have the power 9, including the free blue spells. But even in budget we have a lot of good blue options. First one is of course aggressive creature. One of the best old school creatures. Serendipity 3/4 for 3 mana, flying. Can deal a lot of damage fast. It's attack for lightning bolt every turn, and also can be a flying blocker, why not? And second cool budget card that I see, it's a Psionic Blast. At the first side, it's a good removal. Psionic Blast, not lightning bolt, it can kill the Serra Angel or Serendipity, any creature with toughness 4, even Suchi, yeah. And of course it's boon spell, one more way to deal a lot of damage, and Blast with lightning bolt already deals 7 points of damage. It's like more than 23% of opponent life. It's fine. If you have a good mana base, like Volcanic Island, not only City of Brass, you can use cards like Brain Gazer to restore your hand, and Mana Drain to surprisingly counter some spell and then finish game with big fireball. I don't think that deck like this needs more counter spells like playset or stuff like this. Only one, it's good to know. Your opponent will see it in the first game and will play around in second and third game. At the same time, it will be useless. Yeah, you have a big chance of draw it. I think it's fine trick. If you on budget mana base, you can use Recall, Blue Regross that can help you to transform your lands into boon spells and have just 1 blue cast. One more interesting blue card is a copy artifact. It's not so powerful in boon-like Atog lists, but in Atog lists with a lot of big artifact creatures, this big red decks with blue, it can be powerful now. So just for 2 mana, you can copy the Triskelion. Or you can use it for tricks like ramp by copy Soul Ring or copy Mishra's Factory. It's actually popular tech in Old School Magic. With really budget mana base, as I use, you will have only Cities of Brass, so it will be not too easy to play double costed blue spells. And now I'll show you my blue and red Atog deck list. It's Pretty simple, pretty budget, and have only 7 blue cards, just Ifrits and Sonic Blasts. Blue give you not so many sideboard options. I think it's a Blue Elemental Blast, of course, to play against other red decks. And in formats when Input Rush is legal, you can use Psychic Purge to deal surprisingly 5 points of damage or just 1 to finish opponent in 1 life. It will be painful, of course, for opponent. Next color that I want to talk about is a white. It's have aggressive creature, Savannah Lion, and some other creatures too, and also it have best removal in format. Disenchant and Sword to Plowshares. Sword kill anything, actually don't kill but exile, and Disenchant destroy artifacts and enchantments, it's fine. To be honest, Swords is a sideboard card for a deck like this, because the deck is a tempo, you want to deal damage, and Sword will give you opponent life, so it's like non-bar, and better to use this Sword in sideboard. But Disenchant is good main deck against any artifact enchantment treats. Also you can use a Balance as a restricted card, that again one of the best removal for land or creatures, and even discard spells sometimes. Interesting moment that you can put on your red Atog deck with white Savannah Lions and Disenchants, land tax and land sage, and it will be actually different deck. This is my version of deck for Winter Derby. Actually it's just simple basic budget tax aggro deck. But here you can see instead of Ironclave Orcs, popular creature, it just builds Atog, because deck already have a not so small amount of artifacts. I made some mistake here. As you can see, I used 10 artifacts in main deck, and in the future if I will use this deck, I will put instead of main deck Blood Moons, Winter Orbs. Because actually deck with Atog need more than 10 artifacts, like 20 or 40, it will be fine. Of course, many players will name this deck Tax H, just with Atogs, but I think it's use entire Atog pile, and if you have a Mox, you will use it and it will be bigger Atog pile, so... Okay, it's Tax H, but one of variant to use your Atog and helpful artifacts. If you have in your collection good mana base, like Volcanic Island and Plateau, you can use 3-colored version of this deck, like blue, white and red Atog. If you know, one of popular burn decks is Lion Deep Bolt, I think right name. It's a deck with 3 Deep of Reed, Summon a Lion and burn spells. And this deck with Atog would be the same. It has Summon Alliance, Atogs, 3 Deep of Reeds, a lot of burn spells, and artifacts that work with Atog. Next interesting color is black. Actually, I think you know, best black cards that you can put in every deck with a good mana base, it's Demonic Tutor and Mind Twist, and same here. You can put Demonic Tutor and Mind Twist into your mono red Atog with some splash by good mana base, or into your blue and red Atog, as most of players do. But actually it can be an options. First point that we also have a fine sideboard card from black color. It's Gloom. It can be good against white deck if you have not white in your main deck. And also I found the old, like 2 years ago, list from 10 points event again that use interesting option. It's mono red deck that have black color, mostly by using Badlands, 4 Sage Trolls and Develor. Yeah, this creature for 4 mana, for 4 black, that made any next black spells expensive for 1 black mana. But in this deck you can see it's only 4 Develors, so mostly it will be just for 4/4, like Suchi, but can be killed by Shatter. At the same time Atog can hit it, so I'm not sure it's best possible decision. Sadly, Demonic and Mind Twist, that's a single card that our deck well got from black. We can count the Sage Troll or Develor as aggressive creatures, but black have not removal that actual this deck need. Zeros, I don't think it's the best decision, to be honest. Last color is green, and it have aggressive creatures and have some way to deal damage, but have not removal, sadly. Aggressive creatures is of course Ghosts Pixies, that can be really cool in meta heavy with artifact aggro decks, because it's blocker, it's unblockable attacker, mostly. And MtG just big, can be again played on the second turn by Mana Vault if your deck is budget. For deal damage we can use Berserk, card that will give your creature double power and trample, and it's really fine because our Atog have not trample, so sometimes we just need to stay and wait moment when we can go to attack. And with green we can go to attack, eat all artifacts, make Atog like 7/7 or 9/9, and then give him Berserk and finish the game surprisingly. But Berserk is not too safe strategy, it can be easily countered by Sword or stuff like this. And of course green have card advantage enchantments in one library and restricted regrowths that help to return any burn if you play on budget, or any power piece if you play with non-budget deck. And now it's time to show you powerful and expensive list of Atog. It's have 4 colors. Mainly it's a blue and red Atog version with Atog and Serendipity Fruit and some burn spells, but also it has the black for Demonic Suitor and Main Twist, of course, white for balance and disenchant, and a lot of restricted cards from all colors, a lot of power, all Moxen, Library of Alexandria, 3 best draw spells, I mean recall and 2 wheels that draw you 3 or 7 cards. And I think its deck's really cool. It can fight against deck well, it can abuse power. With help of Moxen and Black Lotus you can start from Atog, Black Vice and Ankh of Misha at the same time. In the future you can go to attack, eat your Moxen, play burn spell to opponent face, play recall or time twister to draw more cards with more burn spells, and actually deal like big amount of damage in first 2 or 3 turns and once game. It's really fine and also have so many powerful cards. And costs so much. I think I'll never build a deck like this. So it was all that I want to tell and show you today. Thank you for watching this video up to the end. If you like it, please support me by leaving a comment, press the like button, or subscribe to my channel. Also, you can join my Patreon. Thank you again, have a nice day, have a nice games, bye!